Sideways, sorry. Okay, so this is, hey, okay, so welcome back. So I am making a video. Today's video is about my first 22 days. So I posted a video of my very first class, and now this one is day 22. 22, yes. So I happened to start VIPKID during Chinese New Year. Bad idea. Bad idea. Well, actually it's a good idea if you have time and you want to take workshops, because they offered a lot of workshops during the Chinese New Year because they knew we wouldn't have as many bookings. And as a new teacher, you can expect to have a slow start anyway, but because of Chinese New Year, a lot of people are traveling, so they have off. So it's a good and bad thing, I guess. Anyway, I'm in day 22, and to increase my bookings, I did a couple of things. So I made sure I was taking workshops. I first came in at a level 2 interactive teacher, and right away under certifications, I could apply for the trial class certification and then also for level 3. So I did both of those. The trial class was great because that's actually where most of my bookings are right now, because basically that's just kids trying out VIPKID and seeing if they like it or not. So basically they're just meeting someone for the first time. I had a couple of master classes, which were a lot of fun, which just means that it's actually someone who's already a student. And that got me started with teaching and getting in the flow. I've had some rebookings off of that. I have 5 Apple feedback now. Yay, I have 3 of those, so good for me. I've been collecting badges, so it's been a lot of fun. But the number one, I'm still taking workshops. Never stop taking workshops. It's a great refresher, or if you don't know something, take a workshop. So I just want to give you an update of how my first 22 days has been so far. So I got certified to teach, and I got my trial certification like right away, and my level 3 right away. So it's up to you if you want to increase, but once you're in there, if you click on certifications and then kind of go through all the different tabs, you'll see stuff that is grayed out, and you'll see stuff that says it's available or not. And so just do whatever ones you can. So that way it just opens you up to that many more kids that you can teach at different levels. And then I really wasn't getting any bookings. I was checking every day because I wasn't sure how everything worked, and I was getting a little discouraged. So I was like, man, it's only been like day 5 and I have no bookings. But there's been teachers who go a lot longer waiting. So I just made sure I did workshops. I left really good feedback in the workshops for the teachers, thanking them, and then also what I liked. I also left the feedback for VIPKID on why I liked the workshops. And then what I did was I submitted a ticket. So after about 18 days in, because I was like, all right, to be fair, I'm new. I don't understand how this works, but they have like, unless you're coming up as like a brand new opening and someone needs to fill it, they may not see you because there's thousands of teachers. So one of the things I did was I submitted a ticket to support and just said, I'm not having any bookings, you know, what can I do? Is there a way I can promote myself? So it looks like I'm a go-getter. And so their feedback to me was, it's okay, it's Chinese New Year. Now I already knew that, but I still wanted bookings. So I just replied back, yes, I know it's Chinese New Year, but I'm very excited to get started. And, you know, if there's just anything I can do, I'm willing to do it. You know, just let me know. I'm taking workshops. I've been taking lots of workshops. I think I've taken almost every workshop I possibly can so far. And I'm really putting a lot of effort in. So because I did that feedback, probably within a day or so, I got my first trial class. So I did a video on my first trial class and how that went. So if you haven't seen that yet, watch it. It's quite interesting. I did the video mostly so I can look back from now and go, oh yeah, I remember that class. So for me, everyone's different, but for me, my favorite classes are the ones where the kids are, you know, the trial classes especially is when they meet someone face to face who is an English speaker, and they're starting to learn like, hey, high five the screen and let's do a fist bump. And I came back out, and the one kid, I was like, fist bump and do-do-do-do-do-do, and immediately he could reference that to Big Hero 6. Now their word for Big Hero 6 is different, but he immediately started laughing and smiling and doing the same action. So when they actually like have a lot of fun with you and learn with you, it's so much fun. So now I'm gonna just give you my update of what's been going on in the last, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 days. I think the last one I showed, I forget how many days it was I showed on that video of how many days I was in. So now I'm gonna look down at my notes. 22 days in, 10 classes, 10 students, some of which were no-shows, which is fine. You just sit there, and I just worked on stuff while I was waiting to see if they would show up. You get paid, so you just gotta stay there. So then I've had 5 Apple feedbacks. I've had 3. All of my feedback so far has been 5 Apple, which in VIPKID means very good, yay. So that's exciting. So it kind of pops up and it says, you have feedback. I've earned 4 badges. So it'll let you know when you're 10 days in, 30 days in, when you've had your first class, when you've had your first 5 Apple feedback, those kind of things. So it's kind of fun because you're kind of getting rewards as you go. Builds up your self-esteem as a teacher. And I have prepped a lot. So what I have found is, at first I did a lot of prep for my trial classes. Now the good news is there's only so many. So there's only 7, I believe. I'd have to go back and look. But I am a paper maniac. I know there's people who do this without paper and they just use all their digital stuff, but I'm a paper maniac. So I have like all of my outlines. And what's great, if you haven't had a class yet, don't worry, because when you get your first booking, there's a materials section. If you go into materials, the first thing you want to do is hit outlines. If you go to outlines, usually there's a really good outline of some sort. So for me, because I have to practice it over and over, and then once I do it, I'm like a active learner, okay? So even when I was learning in school, when I was in college, if a teacher just spoke to us and I had to take notes, I would fall asleep. So I found the best thing that worked for me, like if I was in a class like that, and I worked like 3, I don't know, jobs when I was in school. So it was early morning, and by the 9 o'clock class, I was ready for a nap. So I actually like figured out that if I wrote my notes and I colored them with highlighters and all those kind of things, and kind of did really good note taking while they were talking to me and made pictures of what that stuff meant to, you know, for memory, I could get it and keep it. So that's why I'm a paper person. So I find if I write it down on paper, it kind of ingrains itself in my brain. So then when I study, it's just like a review. It's super fast review. I don't have to really study it. I mean, it just kind of sticks in my brain when I write something down, and I'm active with it and, you know, color coding it or whatever. I may never look at the color codes again. It just really helps me. So there's outlines. So if you go into the outline section, I just highlighted and copied and pasted it into Word. And then I spaced it out if they didn't have any spaces, and printed out a 1-page sheet. And then I went through the slides and just kind of made my own notes of like, hey, you know, what are some props that I have that I can use? And then from there, you know, what are the key sentences that I'm trying to hit? Because again, if I don't write it down, I will not remember the key sentence and I will forget to introduce it. So I make sure I write down the key sentences, what slide that is at, things like that. And honestly, I don't look at that at all the whole lesson, because I totally, like, they give you the tips on the slides right there. So you can read the tip if you forget what you're supposed to do, and it will tell you what to do. So don't worry if you don't have a class yet, it's great. They really do help you. So like for me, I just had, like I said, here's my outline. So at the very bottom, I write props. I don't know if you can see it. I write props. So, so when I do my props, what I will do then is just kind of keep a list, and then I keep them around me. So when I'm going through the slide, I can go, oh, oh yeah, I wanted to use this. And I find sometimes I don't use that prop at all. It's just something I have by me in case I want to use it. So that's been extremely, extremely helpful. So I just wanted to do this video mostly to let people know not to get discouraged. If you're waiting and you really, really, you know, want to know how's it going so far, I'm having a good time. So I actually, so just so you know, make sure you end a trial class. If you've got trial classes, I took the feedback and I took the feedback workshop, UA and feedback workshop, whatever that is. Anyway, and I also took the workshop on trial classes. Do it. Because the feedback in there that she said to give was so helpful about how I'm looking forward, you know, VIPKID can create a team to help your student to master, you know, and learn bigger vocabulary and have conversations in English and all that. So typically, just so you're aware, each kid who is in trial gets 3 trial classes for free. Like, I don't know if it's for free, but they get 3 trial classes, okay? So you get a bonus if the person that last gave the trial class, that person signs up with. So here's my highlight. I'm so excited. So I had this little girl. She was adorable, adorable. So I had such a good class with her, but she was a trial class. So I'm like, oh, I'm so sad. I'm her first one. It'll tell you if it's the first trial class they've had or if they've had any other classes with people. So she was my first one. I was her first teacher, first trial class. So I'm thinking, oh, she was so sweet, and I probably won't, you know, see her again because she gets 2 more trials before she signs up. So I was kind of sad about that. I mean, I was happy to meet her, put great feedback in there for her and how much VIP would even help her more. But guess what? She signed up and she only had one trial class with me, so that made me feel so good. So if you don't get a trial class sign up person right away, don't worry, because you know what, they might favorite you and like you, so maybe you're not the person they signed up with, but you're going to end up being someone that is going to be teaching their classes to them. So make sure you make good rapport, because you can turn trial class, if it's not the 3rd one, the 1st one, into a win for you too. So it was exciting. So that's my big promo and yay me moment. So I just want to give you guys all that update. If there's anything else you want to know or you want me to make a video about, comment, because I'm working on a video library to help people from the ground up. So my next one, I'm going to go back and do mock classes, I think, after this. But if there's anything that you want to know that's from my perspective and what I did, I'm not an expert. Far from it. I can just give you my real life take on it. So anyway, it's good to talk to you. Until next time, bye.